On this edition of the MHP Minute, I'm going to talk about the best advantage, I think, of investing in mobile home parks, which is the tax savings. So yes, you can save money on taxes by investing in mobile home parks. And you do this through depreciation. So the IRS allows you to write off a paper loss when you buy a mobile home park by basically depreciating a certain portion of the property's value. Now, in the current tax code, you can actually write off a pretty significant portion in the very first year. Now, the way this basically works is if the IRS deems a certain portion of the property's value to be on a depreciation schedule of 15 years or less, so think maybe a power pole that the IRS says is good for 7 years and you have to replace it, they let you write off that entire 15-year or less depreciation schedule in the very first year. And for real estate professionals, which is an IRS indication, it's not just somebody with a license, but they can actually use those depreciation losses to offset earned income, which is a pretty incredible advantage. Now, we do this through what's called a cost segregation study, which basically looks at the entire value of the property and determines what portion of it can be written off in 5 years, 7 years, 15 years, et cetera, et cetera. And that's what allows us to maximize the deductions. And like I said, with mobile home parks, 60 to 70% of the property value can typically be written off under 15 years, which means, yes, if you put 30% down on a property, you might be able to write off 70% of its value, which is double what you put in. Now, this is counterintuitive because a mobile home park is basically just land. What happens is when we do that cost segregation study, it finds that most of the value of the property is not the land, but the improvements, and most of those improvements fall into the category of 15-year property, which is why these are just such great tax vehicles.